Hi, everybody. I'm Sandy Schussel. About half of you know me, about half of you don't. I am not a AI, I'm real, but I'm going to show you later a program called Gamma where I could be AI and it would be very hard to tell the difference. Let me make sure you can see me and hear me because that's going to be important for our progress. Obviously, just somebody type heart if you're there, you're listening. Tell me, yeah, I can see that you're listening. So, uh, are you seeing me talk? Okay, good. That's because it doesn't work if we don't do that. I want to start off by asking you to use the chat. Don't use the Q&A because I'm going to be reading the chat. Um, and tell me if you're already using some AI and what are you using it for? And then we're going to move right along. But I do want to get a sense of where you are with this stuff, the AI stuff. So tell me if you're using AI and what you're using it for. I'm figuring a lot of you are using ChatGPT. Some of you are using Claude. That's good. We're going to talk about them, but then we're going to go beyond those. And I'm going to get you started here right now. All right, I'm assuming you can see my screen. I don't know why I lose the chat, but I do. Somebody said yes, but it's getting complicated. So let me tell you what we're going to be doing today, if I can find it. We're going to talk about five different things here. First is why you shouldn't be afraid of AI, and actually, you should be using it. And the more you're using it, the better. Secondly, is we're going to go through a whole list of tools, but don't worry about it because when we get to the end, I'll give you a link that you can use to get a cheat sheet with all the things, all the tools we talked about. So I want you to know that that's available to you. Third, I'm going to show you how to role play with ChatGPT, especially in the insurance questions, but it works for both people who are in insurance and people who are financial advisors. And I also have a cheat sheet for that where you can put in prompts and practice with ChatGPT. So we're gonna look at the things that are available to you. Then we're gonna role play with one of them. I'm going to show you how to role play with one of them. Then I'm going to tell you how to get started and how to keep going with AI because it's overwhelming, and I'm sure you're bombarded every day with lots and lots of advertisements for Verlo and this AI and that AI. I want to make that easier for you. And then we're going to talk about best practices and maybe spend a few minutes on the ethics of using AI. But that's what we're planning to do today. So you already answered this question, so I'm going to basically jump in here and say, look, about half of you on this call know me. The other half don't. I want to just give you a little bit of my background so you know where I come from. AI is not the thing I do. It's one of the things that I talk about in connection with all the things that I do with financial advisors and insurance professionals, especially life insurance agents. I started my first career as an attorney. I built a high six-figure law practice and it nearly killed me. I ended up with colorectal cancer at age 41. I was disabled for a year, and thankfully, I had disability insurance, but it wasn't enough. And I eventually, because of the medical bills, filed for bankruptcy. And then I knew I didn't want to go back to being a lawyer, so I started a training and seminar company and attracted a broker dealer called First Investors, a broker dealer and life insurance company. And 25 years ago, I started working with advisors. I became the national sales training director for First Investors and First Investors Life. They were purchased by Cetera. Some of you may know that company, broker dealer. And I stayed for a little while as the national sales training director for them. And then in 2011, I decided to take all the sales training and the coaching I was already doing and make it a private practice. And I've been doing that ever since. I've worked with hundreds of successful advisors basically to get a stalled business going again. And it wouldn't matter where you were, whether you started at a little over 100,000 in gross income from all sources, or you were at 900,000. When you got stuck, you needed somebody to help you out. And that's the work that I decided to do. Along the way, I wrote two books, one about overcoming fear called The High Diving Board, because I think fear drives a lot of the issues that we're not successful on. And the other was Become a Client Magnet. And both of those books have done very well. People ask me, am I going to write a third one? It's a lot of work. I don't think so. That's the work that I've been doing. Now, my work with advisors is mostly one-on-one coaching, but I also have a group program for getting introductions, and I also have a laser program, which has a very low entry point. But my work with one-on-one coaching basically involves three steps. One is improving relationships with existing clients and centers of influence so that you can end up tripling your referrals, and you can do that in 6 months. Two is developing an effective niche market and a marketing plan to go with it. Most advisors are generic. It's not the best thing for them because they look like everybody else. In my book, Become a Client Magnet, I talk about being a white crayon in a box of white crayons. You're not going to get ahead if you look and sound like everybody else. And I help you pick what you want to move towards and then move towards it. And third, improving your systems and your staff and the way you delegate so that you free up your time. And one of those issues in step three involves using AI, and especially now. So it's important that you're getting the information from this program, and I hope that it'll help you and that you'll use it. While I'm working on those three steps, I'm focusing on how you're thinking, your mindset, what your goals are, what your strategies are to reach those goals. What skills do you have already, and what skills can we embellish or add to? And what your environment is like. We all have people, places, and things that either energize us or suck the life out of us. And my job as a coach is to help you steer toward the good one and stay away from the bad one. If you have any interest at all in having a conversation where there's no sales pressure and we really just talk about your business, you can find me at sandyschussel.com. Actually, it's just sandyschussel.com/conversation. So I told you we're going to cover five things. Let's start with the first one, and that is that AI is your competitive advantage, not your competition. Uh, AI can't replace the things that you do personally with your clients. It can't build trust and relationships. And you know, clients buy from people they trust, especially in financial matters. It can't help you with local knowledge. It can't replace you for local knowledge, what's going on in your community, what the state regulations are, what the local market conditions are. It can't show emotional intelligence. Claude is very good at at looking like it's emotional, but it's not feeling anything and it's not getting anything from a client. You can read a client's anxiety. You can understand what they're going through in life transitions. You can look at them and see what their unspoken concerns are. AI is never going to do that. Complex family dynamics, multi-generational planning, and sensitive conversations. AI can understand the different complexities, but it can't really parse them. It can't really look inside and see what's going on emotionally. And advisors can. And AI has no ethical judgment. As a matter of fact, we'll talk a little later about something called hallucination, where when you're looking for an answer and it doesn't have it, it makes it up for you. And that's that's not what you want. AI does not do those things. And so the real threat to how AI works is that it's not that it's going to replace you, but that the advisors who are using it are going to replace the ones that don't. AI handles repetitive tasks, so you can focus on the real work, the high value advisory work. In other words, it's about efficiency. It gives you time. Even when you have an assistant, if the assistant is using AI, it gives you more time. It gives them time. You can delegate more to them and so on. So it actually makes you more valuable. First of all, you've got speed. You can respond to clients in hours, not days. And I'll show you the apps that do that. Accuracy, you're going to reduce errors in calculations and in documentation because it catches errors. Scalability, you can serve more clients without sacrificing quality. Personalization, you can tailor recommendations using data analysis from some of the apps. And I'm going to show you the category of apps and some of the apps that are available in there. And continuous learning, you can stay updated on regulations, on products. You can ask it questions like, who are the best companies for me to contact? There's so much that it can do for you that you should be thinking about using it as an assistant rather than worrying about robo advisories and things like that. So the biggest value that you get from them is again the saving of time. Um, AI will take meeting notes and remember the details and then break it down into tasks that have to be done. That can all be done with several AI programs, and I'll show you some of them. The follow-up, you can automate sending follow-up emails, and that can be done automatically after every client meeting. I mean, there's tremendous value in this, and I'm using a lot of this myself, which I'll show you later also. Analyzing and organizing mountains of client data. You can feed Claude a 35-page annuity document, and it'll break it down to bullet points for you. And it's easy to do. And for the most part, it's free unless you use it a lot. And then it's only 20 bucks a month if you want to go beyond that. AI will do marketing for you, and I'll show you that, keeping up with social media and marketing and newsletters. Now, if you're a financial advisor and you're subject to FINRA, you probably have to peel it off and get it approved. But some of the stuff that it produces is amazingly good, and you can take advantage of that once you understand the app that you're working with. And planning both for your business and planning for your clients, forecasting and optimizing portfolios, tracking financial goals, and so on. So that's what AI does for you. Now, that's this first section that we were going to talk about. Um, by the way, it's good to see some of you people I haven't seen in a long time. Thank you for being here. Um, AI tools built for financial and insurance professionals is what we're going to talk about next. First, we're going to go look at the generic ones. Some of you are using chat, and some of you are using Claude, and some of you are using some of the other ones that appear in Chrome and on Microsoft Word. And I'm going to share some of the pluses and minuses, at least of those first two. So the first category of 7 categories we're going to be discussing is client communication and engagement. So you have ChatGPT, which can help you draft personalized client emails It can create newsletters and educational content. It can translate complex insurance terms into plain language. I'm going to show you Claude. It's better than Claude when it comes to deep research. So if you have nothing else, I would tell you start with ChatGPT. It's the best all-around AI assistant for writing, brainstorming, marketing, coding, analysis. It's excellent for newsletters, client letters, seminar outlines, and social media. It allows you to create your own GPTs and offer them to your clients. You probably don't want to get that deep into this, but I find it fascinating that you could create your own GPT just by feeding it the information that you want clients to ask questions about. It does document analysis, and the limitation of it is it requires you to direct the work. In other words, you have to give it a very specific instruction, and then it will do exactly what you asked it to do. Let me compare Claude to that. And by the way, before I go there, this webinar was originally designed in Outline, and then the slides were originally created by ChatGPT. I told it exactly what I wanted, and it gave me exactly what I wanted. Of course, I edited it, and that's going to be your job whenever you're using any AI, is to make sure that you see it and you edit it if you need to. But that's the kind of thing that it does. So Claude is similar, but it has different talents, if we can use that word. And the first is it'll summarize a long document for you. It'll analyze and condense large conversations. If you feed it the text, it'll bring it down to something smaller. So if you're recording something and then you transcribe it, you give the transcription to Claude, and Claude will analyze it, break it down, do whatever you need it to do. It will organize background info for client meetings. Um, it's more creative and intuitive than ChatGPT, and that's the thing that you should know. If you're creating something, you're creating marketing, you're creating letters to clients, you're creating a newsletter. I tend to use Claude more than Chat because Claude will ask me questions like, well, are you sure you want to say it this way? Would you like to say it that way? And Chat won't do things like that. So it's outstanding for long form writing and thoughtful analysis. It handles lengthy documents and complex reasoning really well. It's excellent for policies, books, client communications, and it's preferred by many professionals because the intuitive, emotional, or at least mimicking emotional way that it writes is more natural and more like we write as human beings. New in the market are apps like Verlo and Lyra AI, and there are probably four or five more by now that basically rely on Claude. If you're going to do anything with this, start with Claude and then look at those. So that's one of those are the two main client communication apps that you should be aware of. Now, again, I'll have all of this for you in a cheat sheet that you can get at the end. So let me give you a demonstration of how it works. And this is right from it, but rather than try to break into Claude and then break back out again, or break into ChatGPT and break back out again, I just copied it. So you're trying to explain to a 35-year-old new parent why they should get insurance and why they should get it now. And so the prompt that you give to ChatGPT is, you're a financial advisor whose clients are new parents. Explain the difference between term life insurance and permanent life insurance. And Chat starts it this way. If I were advising new parents, I'd explain it like this. When you have a child, life insurance is less about you and more about making sure your family can pay the bills and maintain their lifestyle if something happens to you. the two main types of life insurance are term insurance and permanent insurance. Term is blah, blah, blah. And then it goes on to explain it. So if you were wondering, like, how do I explain anything? Put it into chat and ask chat how it would explain it. Is it right all the time? No, they tell you at the bottom of both of these apps, don't expect us to be right all the time, but it's pretty darn good. Let me give you another demo. So you have a client whose daughter is starting college, and you want to sit down and do a policy review and talk to them about maybe making some changes. So you've drafted this email that basically says, Dear Sarah, I want to follow up about your life insurance policy. Please let me know if you have any questions. Now you give that information to ChatGPT and it writes the letter for you. Dear Sarah, I hope you and your family are doing well with your daughter getting ready to start college next fall. I imagine this is an exciting and busy time filled with lots of planning and new beginnings. As your family enters the next chapter, I want to check in regard to your life insurance policy. Major life milestones are often a good opportunity to review your coverage and make sure it still reflects your family's needs and goals. This is an actual start of a letter that it wrote, that ChatGPT wrote. If I had run it through Claude, it would probably even be warmer, but the idea of telling it create a warm letter for this message, it's amazing what it can do. And again, you may want to edit it. I mean, you should edit it. But it certainly saved this advisor a lot of time to have the letter all written for him. So continuing in this category, the client communication engagement category, is the whole thing about websites, social media, posting, and there are programs that will do that for you. Jasper AI is one of them. Copy AI is another one. And what they'll do is you will ask it for something. It will do the graphic for you for the post. It will give you three different sizes, so you can do a LinkedIn post, an article for your newsletter. It'll do Instagram, an email. You just tell it what you want. Jasper does that. Copy AI does that. And there are other programs, but these are the two that most advisors are using. So one that I happen to love is called Ideogram. And Ideogram will give you a picture for your newsletter or for your post that goes exactly the way you want it to. So I put in create a photorealistic picture of a financial advisor pointing out details of an illustration. And it gave me all 8 of these to choose from. And all I had to do was type in that one sentence. And so if you have an assistant who's doing this for you, or if you're doing it yourself, all you have to do is that. And then you can also play. I wanted it to show how I stood in front of groups and presented. And so I gave it one picture of me, and this is what it turned out. You can use AI to create artwork, articles, etc. So again, Ideogram is one of those programs that can be useful to you if you're sending out information to clients and doing newsletters. Another one that's another category of this stuff is designing presentations, designing websites, and so on. You can do all this yourself, but Gamma and Zeely will do it for you. You've got social media content creation, blog posting, marketing campaign copy. All you have to do is try these when the time is right for you, and you're going to see that there's some pretty amazing stuff that they can do for you to save you time and energy, and they pick up on things you wouldn't have even thought of. I'll tell you the one that I like best and that I've been using regularly. It's called Marblism.ai. And Marblism gives you a whole series of employees, someone to be an executive assistant, a community manager, lead generation, a whole series of smaller bots that take care of business for you. And so, just as an example of how it works, when I marketed on Facebook and Instagram to get people to come to this program, I asked it to create and post ads for me. It created the ads, and all I had to do was approve them and maybe edit one or two of them, and then post them, and they were the right size, and it did the graphics for me depending on what the topic was. It's to me, this is just amazing time saving if you're doing your own marketing, or if you have someone in house that's doing the marketing for you. Turn them loose on this, and you're going to see that there's lots it can do for newsletters, blog posts, things like that. Again, all I did was ask this different person. The other one was the social media manager. This is Penny, the blog writer. I said, give me five topics that I can talk about. Then once it's learned you a little bit, and some of the writing was great. Now, I like to write my own, and I recommend writing your own, but you give it to them and they will make it much better. And so the graphics come from this program, Marbleism. The content was largely produced. I found in the beginning it was making them too long, so I said cut it to 500 or 600 words, and it cut it to 500 or 600 words on every one of these things. And it's really my ideas, my voice. They're helping with the writing, and that saves me hours of time every month. So now we go to category two, and if you have questions, we'll take tons of questions at the end if you want to know more about any one of these. Um, the second category of the seven that we're going to be talking about is financial analysis and planning. If you do analysis of clients' tax returns, whether you're doing it for insurance purposes or financial advisory purposes, I can promise you, you put the tax return in Holistiplan, you turn it on, and the analysis that might have taken you anywhere from a half hour to 2 hours, it will do in less than 15 minutes. And so, if that's something that you do in your practice, there's a program for it. There's an AI for it that really works. Some of you are using programs like eMoney and Right Capital. I bring them up here again because you feed in the client's information and it'll do modeling for you. It'll do it three or four different ways for you if you ask. It can do projections, retirement income planning, Monte Carlo simulations, and there's one specifically for insurance called Conquest Planning, coverage gap identification, comprehensive needs assessment, visual client ready reports, and some of the best stuff that comes out of all of these programs, particularly the Right Capital e-money and Conquest Planning, is a quality report that you can give to your client that makes you worth millions to them. So, one of my clients combined ChatGPT and Holistiplan and started to use that to handle client emails, tax analysis, proposed drafting, and ended up saving, according to what he said, AI gave me two extra client meetings per week, and I didn't work any harder than I used to. And it increased his capacity to add clients by 30%. It saved him 2 hours per he puts out proposals per proposal. And it saves 15 minutes in every meeting because everything is there for you when you enter the meeting. So category three is more insurance specific AI tools. I'm not going to go deeply into the Zinnia and Smart Insurance AI. These are for making sure you can get through to underwriting and shortening the time that you have to do prep for it. So you actually speed up the approval process. Zinnia does paperwork, back office, and helps you handle more business. Smart Insurance AI um, helps you with sales and client engagement and create more business. And again, you'll get into these as we go deeper, and you'll have the checklist you'll have the cheat sheet for them. So when you're saying, this is a pain in my butt, it's just taking me too long, there's just too much to do, you're going to want to look at these AIs that can help you do that. Two of the best, or one of the best things that AI does is record your meetings and then break them down into notes and tasks. And if you are not using these, I can tell you, you really should be. So, a lot of broker dealers, if you're working with a broker dealer, have some have approved Jump, and Jump is good. It gives you pre-meeting talking points. It creates draft emails for you for follow-up. It takes meeting notes and then breaks it down to this is what the client has to get to you. This is what you have to get to the client. This is what has to be done next. It can be loaded into Redtail or Salesforce or whatever CRM you're using. And so you can just take those notes, put them in. I had a meeting on September 14th. This is what we discussed. This is what I'm supposed to do. This is what the client's supposed to do. So that's good. Great question here. I'm going to try. If I don't speak English in my meetings, would you know if AI could take the notes and then translate to English? I'm sorry, I'm not sure, Joel, because basically I've done everything in English and I haven't looked for that, but it's something to check into. A lot of the clients that I work with who are using this have found that Zox does a better job than Jump AI if you can use it, if your broker dealer allows it, or if you sell insurance and you don't have a broker dealer. Zox will do better admin for you because it actually prepares the email ready to go for you after the meeting and some things like that. Neither one of these is very expensive. The cheat sheet tells you how much these things cost, and they're good. And now there are other things that have come out over the past 6 months, like FinMate, Zeppelin, and Verlo. What I would do is start with one of these two because right now they're the most popular and they really do a fantastic job. Another one of my favorites is Perplexity because you can get detailed research in complexity that is specifically for what you want. So what I did is I have a client that I talk about, Ron in Cleveland, and I said, list the 10 biggest construction companies in Cleveland, Ohio. And the answer was, here are the 10 biggest companies. And it gave me the names of the companies and it gave me what their gross numbers are based on, based on their filings. So it's like, ask it a question, it'll tell you. When you want investment research and you want to track economic indicators, two other great programs are AlphaSense and Bloomberg AI. So in the category of research, you've got a bunch, you've got some really good programs to do research for you. Now, maybe you don't do research, that's fine. You don't need those. And I'm going to tell you how to start with all of this in a few minutes. But in the world of compliance, if you have had trouble with compliance, If you have had any issues, these two, these four programs, Smarsh Global Relay, Otter AI, and Fireflies, will do everything that you need so that if you're preparing for an audit, it's going to take you 5 minutes to be ready for the audit. And so that's something that you can be aware of. So that brings us to category seven, lead generation and CRM enhancement. Um, you don't have with your CRM, you don't necessarily get a way to prospect and some of the things that you need to know. And so programs like HubSpot AI and Salesforce Einstein will give you leads. They'll score the leads. They'll tell you which leads to follow first. Two others are Clearbit and Zoom Info. Again, the uh, getting this information is just really helpful to you. With Clearbit, you're basically asking who's interested in the work that I do. And with Zoom Info, you're saying, okay, how do I reach them? They're both good programs for that. And by the way, I'm not telling you about any program that I haven't at least played with. So it's not like I'm giving you a list of things. I've played with all of these programs. And what I mean by played with is if they have a free trial, I've used the free trial. Again, there's two more, and actually there's a lot more, but Catchlight is one where it organizes who do I call first. It does prospect research and it helps you personalize prospect messaging, Wealth Engine and Wealth Feed, identify new prospects and add them to your database for your CRM. So the combined impact of these are you're going to get more leads, better conversions, and higher retention, all on autopilot. And again, if you're not restricted by a broker dealer, you can get a lot of these same things out of Marbleism. Marbleism will actually do research for you and send emails to people if it can grab an email address in your target market. And it's one of the reasons why step two in my program is picking a target market, because those of you who are generic and you're everything to everybody have a way bigger threshold to get to any kind of marketing. These are good for once you've got a target. Now, another program in lead generation and CRM enhancement, which I like, is HeyGen. It takes what text you write and turns it into a video. So what you do is you give it a sample of your voice and you give it a picture of you, and then it does the whole job of being you, and I'm going to show you that. And you get professional videos in minutes. You don't, once you do it once, you don't need a camera. All you need to do is write the text. And if this works, I'm going to show you
Hi,
how.
Jeremy. I'm using HeyGen to show how easy it would be to send personalized emails to all of your clients with the same message. After I send this to you, I'll be sending the same message to the next person by simply changing the name in the beginning of the text that I type to create the greeting.
And that's what it does. That's how it works. And so you can literally take a message that you want to get to your best clients or to the ones who are due to review something with you, type out what you want to say. And after you record the first one, just go in and change the name and get the second one and the third one and the fourth one. So some of you use Loom and some other things, Bomb and things like that, where you have to re-record it every time. This one will re-record it just by changing the text. And so again, maybe you don't have to do it once you do the setup. Somebody else can do it for you, but they can pump out videos that you can send to your clients. And look, there's plenty of research right now how video is the best way to contact clients. This is a way to get used to it when you're ready for it. It'll help you get more leads, better conversion, higher retention, and it's all on autopilot. So that's the second thing I wanted to cover of the five. The third is hands-on AI role play for insurance discussions. You can go into ChatGPT and role play with it before a meeting or in general. And why would you do that? Well, first of all, it's safe practice because you can have the difficult conversations with a bot. And then when you have them with a real prospect or client, you're already prepared. You because you're going to actually ask the ChatGPT to rate how well you did and tell you whether it would have changed its mind or not. And How would I be able to share the PowerPoint? If you contact me, I'll give you my email address at the end. If you contact me, I'm happy to send you the PowerPoint. Um, Safe practice, so safe practice. The second is objection prep. That's the biggest use of it. You'll build confidence for yourself and it'll give you feedback, which is just like, to me, it does some great stuff. So, I'll give you an example. I've got a 45-year-old prospect. I want to handle any objections the 45-year-old prospect comes up with. And so I look at this person. They believe they're healthy. They don't need coverage now. I know we're going to have a conversation where they're going to turn me down when I'm going to give them, when I'm giving them my advice about insurance and say something like, well, I'm young now. I don't need it. I'm healthy. What AI does is it'll act as the skeptical client. It'll challenge your recommendations. It'll rate your response. And if it's not giving you a high rating, it'll actually, if you prompt it right, tell you what would have been more persuasive. And so this is super useful. Here's one of the prompts. My friend Jeremy Nason from Insurance Pro Shop prepared 30 of these, which is part of one of the things that I'm giving away. And when you ask me for it, I'm happy to do this. So here, you're a skeptical 45-year-old potential life insurance client. You believe this is what you're telling ChatGPT. You're healthy and you don't need insurance now. Life insurance is too expensive. You can invest the money better elsewhere. You'll buy it later when you're older. I'm an insurance consultant trying to help you understand the value of coverage now. Challenge my recommendations, bring up objections, and make me work for the sale. Be realistic, but be reasonable. Act like a real prospect would. After I make my points, rate my response 1 to 10 and tell me what would have been more persuasive. And then you feed that to ChatGPT, and here's the answer that I got when I fed it in. Sounds good. I'll stay in character as a realistic prospect. I won't be deliberately difficult, but I will question assumptions, push back on weak arguments, and only be convinced if your case makes sense. Here I go. I'm the prospect. Thanks for meeting with me, advisor. Just so you know where I'm coming from, I'm 45, married, have a decent job, and I'm in good health. I exercise a few times a week, don't smoke. And none of that, by the way, was anything I said. It created it. And there's no major medical issues I'm worried about. To be honest, I'm not convinced I need life insurance. My wife put me up to it. Here's how I see it, blah, 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 blah. And then you take that and you ask questions, handle the objections that come from the questions, and have your performance rated on a 1 to 10 scale with advice on what might have been a more persuasive argument. So this is how you use it. Now, if you have it on your phone, if you have ChatGPT on your phone, you can actually get it to be vocal. You can do it by voice. If you're doing it on a laptop or a computer desktop, you do it by typing the questions, typing the answers or typing the questions. But either way, It gets you prepared for situations, and there are 30 of them, so it gets you prepared for 30 different situations, role playing safely with AI. So, among the other things that are in that cheat sheet that I'm giving you is policy review, competitor comparisons, investment skeptic. Somebody just unmuted themselves. Please mute yourself. Investment skeptic, procrastinator, underwriting challenge. All of these things are scenarios that you can get help with. To do it effectively, you want to be very specific with all these things. I don't know if you noticed before, but I asked one of the GPTs for a photorealistic picture. If you don't ask for specifically what you want, you'll get a cartoon. And then some of them can't do it, like ChatGPT said, well, I can't give you photorealism. I can only give you these, graphics. But that's why there are other programs, and Ideogram is one of those programs. You want to request feedback because it'll give you feedback based on answers that it has by the billions inside of this little brain. You want to practice regularly. If you do 15 minutes before an important client meeting, you're just going to go in with so much confidence. You want to uh, keep a record of what you learned, and it will do that for you so that you can go back and click on one that you've already done. And you want to vary the difficulty. You can start with easy questions, and then you can get into really deep questions with tax consequences and whatever. And so this is really good stuff. So here's how you get these two documents, the role play guide and the list of AI solutions with links and prices where I could get them. And again, these were prepared by AI and just edited by us. It's just something that's well worth taking a look at. And you just have to send me your email for it so I can send it to you. Now, this is important because you need to understand how to do this. And my recommendation is pick one or two tools. Start with Chat or Claude. Maybe take a good look at Jump or Zox. Start with one or two tools. Most of them have free accounts. Jennifer, you just have to sign up for it. It'll be, oh, I see. I see why you're doing that because you're asking for someone else. Just email me for it if you please. Um,
Where-
then
Sorry, I'm so sorry. Where would I find the your email?
I'm going to give it to you at the end of the program.
Oh, okay, okay, thank you.
Okay. Yeah. All
Mhm.
right. No problem. That's fine. Um, it's just that I might miss it in the chat and close it down and not have taken it from you. Um, What you want to do is use it. Use it to rewrite one client email or create one social media post or record tasks with one particular client. Try one role play session during the first month. The first couple of weeks. Add one more tool in the second week and build the habit of using that. Since I found Marblism, I've been using it pretty regularly and trying to see what else it can do for me. And then it would be wise for you to see the benefit you get out of it, because I promise you will. The question is, do you see it? And if you, in the end of the month, document how much time you saved once you learned it and used it, you're going to see that in every case, it saves you time, even though they may have a slight learning curve. Once you're over the learning curve, it's going to be easy to create with using AI. So these are the do's and don'ts, the common pitfalls. You want to focus on client communication, meeting prep, content creation, and documentation. To me, documentation is the most important thing. What Jump and Zox and programs like that do with your meetings is amazing. And you can set it to record even when you're meeting people face to face. And you can definitely set it to record on your Zoom calls. Definitely worth your while. Some do's and don'ts. And so these are important. Don't copy paste the AI output without reading it because it does hallucinate and it may give you stuff you didn't ask for and it may not do it exactly the way you want it. So you always want to look at it. You can copy and paste it to Word or to some other place and then look at it before you use it. Don't use it for compliance advice. If you want to know something is good or not, or will pass underwriting or will pass compliance, it's not super accurate for that purpose unless you get it at least verified by someone else. Don't let it eliminate your personal voice and authenticity. Now, here's the beauty of both Claude and Chat. They learn what works for you and what doesn't work for you. If they keep writing something that has some reference to a moat or something, and that's not the way you talk, you tell it, I don't talk that way, and tell it how you do talk, and it will mimic what your style is and how you do it. Do fact check all AI generated information always. ChatGPT in particular has been known when it can't find a citation to make stuff up and make up a citation. And some lawyers have been caught using it and getting in trouble for that. Uh, do customize outputs to match your brand and style, and they will help you do that. They will learn your brand and style, but don't just take the output off and copy and paste it into something without putting your letterhead on it or whatever. And do use it to enhance but not replace your human judgment. You can really ask it, should I do this or should I do that? And Claude in particular will tell you yes or no and why. But again, it's your judgment, not the AI's, which leads us to take a couple of minutes on ethics and best practices. You always want to keep it human centered. You want to tell clients, I'm using AI to capture the information. You never want to put confidential information into a public AI tool. You remember that you remain responsible for whatever recommendations it made. So you want to make sure it's your recommendation. And you want to use it not to be the expert, but to augment your expertise. You got to be careful about data privacy. And the beauty of this is you can ask it a question about a client situation without naming the client. Just make sure you don't name the client. And if you have concerns about whether your E&O coverage covers AI tool usage, ask about it. Create an internal AI use policy for people that work for you if you have an assistant. And just remember that you're the licensed professional. AI is just a tool. Verify what it gives you, document your advice process, include AI assistance, and continue professional education. AI won't replace your expertise ever. And that's why it's not something to be afraid of, it's something to be used. The takeaways you should get out of this is that AI makes you more valuable, not obsolete. Your clients need your judgment, empathy, and relationships. AI doesn't do that. Before I said it never will. Yeah, maybe someday it will, but right now it clearly doesn't. Um, Three is start small. Just don't try to do all of this. Well, I think I'm going to get Jump, and then I'm going to get Ideogram, and then I'm going to use Chat and Claude. Don't do that. Pick a couple of things and work on them, and then slowly add to it. Use role play because whether you're a financial advisor or a life insurance agent or both, role play will work with chat. Um, and stay ethical. You're the professional. AI is the assistant. All right, so here's where you grab, again, sandyschussel.com AI. Um, Here's where you grab those two items. Please do it. I want to, do one shameless plug here. Some of you have worked with me. Some of you have talked to me. Those of you who don't know this, AI is just a small part of what I do. It's there because in step three, you have to know how to expand your business. If your business is either stuck on a plateau somewhere between 120 and 1,000 and 1 million in gross revenue, or you're on a roller coaster where the summer months and Christmas time is killing your business and you want that to be better, let's talk. I'm not going to try to sell you a program. I have, 3 or 4 different programs I can offer you, but only if you want them, if you ask for them. You can get on my calendar by going to sandyschussel.com/conversation. And Jennifer, for you, just write me at sandy@sandyschussel.com and I will send you those things. Better still, let's have a conversation and maybe what you're looking for in the slides, we can expand upon. And with that, I'm going to get you to any questions or comments. If you don't have a question, I'm cool with that. But then give me a comment. Hey, this was working. This worked for me. It was a crappy, whatever it is. Well, let me know. Okay, so I'm getting some feedback. Excellent. If you want to unmute and talk, I'm happy to do that. There's a few enough of you on this call that it will work. Um, I do want to say hi to some of the people here that I've worked with. Helpful, thanks. Um, how well does the email automation work? It works really well. So, Hart. So, check check that out. It really works. Um, who else? Kevin's nice to see you. Hart, it's nice to see you. Andrew, it's good to see you. Joel, it's good to see you. Let's see, some of this is fun for me because you're people I know that I can help in this way as well as others. And Best practices for prompting. That's a great question. Let me answer that question. You want to be as specific as you possibly can. The more specific you are, the better the answer is going to be. And if you blow it the first time and it's not very specific, ask again and get it more specific, get it even closer. Because that's it, like what you saw I did. Give me a photorealistic photo. You want to be very clear. I'm working with a client who's 35 years old. Tell them as much as you can so that you're going to get the best answer you can. And Kevin's asked about the trying that with Claude. I've only tried it with chat, so I'll be honest, I don't know what Claude will do, but I'm guessing it'll do the same thing because they're very similar with the exception that chat goes deeper into research and Claude goes deeper into emotions. So try it and see, and then let me know because then I'll be able to add to my knowledge base and help more people. Who else? Best practices for prompting. Um, yeah, role play is fun. Role play is fun. Who else? Comments, questions? Because this is our opportunity. I know we're 3 minutes over, but I'll stay if there's any more questions. And if not, get to sandyschussel.com/AI and get these things for me or go to Sandy at sandyschussel.com and we'll have a conversation that could help you grow your business. And that's what I do. I've been doing this now for 25 plus years. And This is just one little piece of the puzzle, but you need to be able to grow and having somebody on the outside looking at what you're looking at and see it differently can be a huge help to you. And that's why I do what I do. All right, then. I don't see more questions. You're all very well, most very well welcome. And again, you know how to reach me. So reach out if I can help.